lessons. Okay, we will go on to Unit 3. So yesterday and the day before, we had Unit 1 and Unit 2, and we talked about quite a few things, right? We talked about the present simple tense, the present continuous tense, and then we talk about how to make arrangements, how to tell the time, and we read about, like how to describe people. Okay? We had a homework yesterday. We had a homework in which I asked you to write a description of yourself. Did everybody write a description of yourself? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. All right, so if you did, can anyone volunteer to read a description of yourself? Okay. Can you describe yourself to everybody in the class? Your appearance, your personality, your hobbies, and so on. Does anyone volunteer? No one. Okay. You said you did. Okay. Can you just share with everybody? Who volunteers to go? Who volunteers to describe yourself to everybody? Okay, no one. All right. So maybe you're probably shy, or you're not willing to share with everybody in the class. Okay. So if you did the homework, I think I will ask you to write somewhere. Okay. I may post something on Classroom and ask you to reply to it with your description. Okay. But we can forget about it for now. Today, we will continue with Unit 3. Okay, and for this unit, for Unit 3, we are talking about life stories. Okay, we talk about what happens in our lives, right? We learn about the stories of different people, what happened to them, and how they recount it. Okay, how they tell their stories. Okay, and we will do that using one new tense that we will be talking about today, which is the past simple tense. Okay, so we will talk about stories using the past simple tense. So I suppose you are familiar with what the past simple tense here is, because all of you have been learning English for quite some time. You probably should know it. But if you still have doubts about the past simple, today we will discuss what the past simple is. Okay. So we begin with an activity. Please open your book to page 24. Okay. This is page 24. Right. Look at page 24. What do you see here? What do we have here? What do we have here? What do you call this? Okay. What do we see here? Can anyone tell me what you see on page 24? What does it look like?
An article, teacher.
An article, okay, an article from where?
From a newspaper.
Yes.
Or a magazine.
Okay, very good. Yes, okay. You see something. It looks like something that has been taken out of a newspaper. Okay? And yet, yes, you're right. You call it a newspaper article or a newspaper story. Okay? If it tells a story, it is a newspaper story. Okay? So, you can tell that this is a story taken from a newspaper just by looking at it. Okay? How many people do you think the story is about? How many people do you think there are in the story? Just by looking. How many? How many people do you see here? How many?
Two.
Two. Okay, well, you see two pictures over here, right? In the first picture, you see a woman, okay? A woman. And in the second picture, you see a man and a woman, okay, or a girl. So it probably will have something to do with three people, with these three people, okay? And the title of the story is Greatness Scene, okay? Greatness Scene. Do you know what it means, greatness scene? Okay. Does anyone know? Probably not, okay? So just by looking at the title, we probably don't know what it is. So if you want to know what greatness scene is, you probably will have to read the article, okay? All right, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes, okay, to work individually, work on yourself, read the story, okay? Read the introduction to the story here, and also read the story here in the newspaper, and then answer the questions, okay, in number 2. So 10 minutes, read the stories, okay, from here, and then answer the questions in number 2. Yeah, they give you 5 questions, okay? Who are the people? What did they do? Okay. What did they feel about it? Okay. What did the mothers do? And what happened in the end, right? Read the story, answer the questions. And also, there are 2 discussion questions. When you read, you think of the answer. What do you think about this story? Okay. Answer these 2 questions over here. And after 10 minutes, we come back and then you share with me your answers. All right. So again, read the story and answer the questions in number 2. 10 minutes. Okay? All right, 10 minutes go. All right. You finished? Are you still working on it? Hello? All right. I don't hear anything from you, so I suppose you've done the work. Okay. Let's go over the questions together. Okay. Question number 1. Who are the people in the story? Who are the people in this story?
They are Marcus Lee Curtis.
Okay, Marcus Lee Curtis.
Mary Shearer.
Mary Shearer. Okay.
And Kristen Shearer.
And Kristen Shearer, right? So you have Marcus, Mary, and Kristen. Okay. How are Marcus and Mary related? Marcus and Mary, the two people over here, what did they do? What did Marcus and Mary do?
They got married.
Yes, they got married. Okay. How old were they when they got married? How old was Marcus?
He's 21.
21, okay.
And she's 16.
And Mary is 16, okay? So they got married, he was 21 and she was 16, right? So what happened? What happened? Why do we have Christine here? Who is Christine? Who is Christine? How is she related to the two people here? Anyone? Is only Thủy Tiên online at the moment? Quỳnh Trang, are you here? Kim Hân.
Em mới vô theo chưa kịp thì.
Okay.
Dạ.
Alright. Linh Vi. Kim Thu. Okay. Yes, Vi.
Yes.
Do you know what we are doing now?
Sorry, I'm so busy now.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Did anyone else read the story besides Thủy Tiên? Did anyone else read the story? Okay. How is Christine related to the people here? How is Christine related to Marcus or Mary?
Christine is what is the girl name?
The girl's Mary.
Mary. Yes.
Yeah.
Christine is Mary's mother.
Yes, Christine is the mother of Mary, okay? The mother of the girl, right? So why is she in the story, okay? What did she feel about her daughter marrying Marcus? What did she feel about it? Did she feel happy?
She was angry.
She was angry. Why was she angry? Why?
Because her daughter married when she wasn't allowed.
Oh, because her daughter got married, and did she know about it? Did Christine know about Mary getting married?
No, she didn't.
Oh no,
No, okay. The girl got married and she didn't know anything about it until, like later, right? She saw it on the newspaper. So she was angry, okay? And what did she do when she was angry? What did she do? What did Christine do?
She attacked Marcus' mother.
Yes, okay. She came over to Marcus' house and she attacked Marcus' mother. Okay, so she was very angry, right? So, and the reason that she was angry was because Mary was only 16 when she was married. Okay, so that's the story. The story happened in the UK. What about in Vietnam? In Vietnam, what is the age that you are allowed to get married? How old are you when you want to get married in Vietnam? Do you
18
know?
years old is girl and
The girl is
20
18 for girls, okay? And what about the boy?
boy is 20 years.
20, okay? Is it the law in Vietnam? Yes or no? Okay,
No.
no. Okay, so what is the law in Vietnam? In Vietnam, do we have the law to tell you how old if you want to get married? You probably don't know, okay? But in any case, in Vietnam, if you want to get married, you probably will have to be over 18, right? Because that's the age that you are legally an adult, right? So probably you have to wait until 18 if you want to get married. So if Mary were in Vietnam, she probably was also was not allowed to get married, okay? So let's talk about the questions. So let's tell the story again, right? The two people over here, Marcus and Mary, they fell in love and they want to get married, right? But they could not get married in the UK. They could not get married in England because in England you need to have permission from your parents if you are under 18. So what did they do? They went to Scotland, okay? They went to a city, a village called Gretna Green, okay? Gretna Green is a village in Scotland, okay, on the border between England and Scotland, and they got married there because in Scotland, okay, you could get married if you are 16, right? So they went there, they got married, and did the boy's family know about it? Yes or no? Marcus' family, did they know about it?
Yes.
Yes, you know.
Yes, okay. The boy's family knew about it, but the girl's family didn't know anything about it, okay, until a week later when they read in the newspaper about a wedding. So the girl's mother became very, very angry, and she came over to the boy's family, and she attacked, okay, the mother of the boy, okay. And what happened in the end? What happened in the end? How did the story end? What happened?
They were at the court.
Yes, okay. They went to court. They went to court because, like the mother of the girl attacked the mother of the boy. So they have to go to court to settle down in the court. Okay? So that's a very interesting story. Alright, so this is a story that you see, right, in English. In English, when you tell a story, what tense do you use? What tense do you use?
Past simple tense.
Yes, okay. You use what we call the past simple tense, right? Take a look at the verbs in the story. Look at the verbs in the story, okay? You will see the verbs are in a special form, right? Was, okay? The bridegroom's mother was at the wedding, and so were, okay? Was, were, and weren't, okay? So if the verb to be, you have was or were, okay? Or wasn't or weren't, right? So that's for the verb to be. For other verbs, okay, you see, what do you see? For example, here, you have the verb attack, okay? Well, if you want to use the verb attack in the past simple, what do we do? What do we add to the verb?
We add ed.
We add ed, okay? Right, so for many of the verbs in the English language, when we want to use in the past simple tense, we add ed. But there was some special cases, okay? For example, the verb, okay, another one here, you see open, right? Open, right? Also, you add ed to the verb. But for some other cases, for example, here you have the verb left, okay? Left. What verb does it come from?
Leave.
It comes from the verb to leave, okay? To leave, L-E-A-V-E, right? To leave. But we don't add ed, right? So this is one special case. We don't add ed in the end when we make the past simple, but we change it into a different word, that is left, right? So in English, we have two kinds of verbs. We have regular verbs. Regular verbs are like, you know, attack or open, okay, or smile, right? Right here you see another one, smile, right? So when you have a regular verb, if you want to make the past simple from the regular verb, you add ed to the end, okay? You also have a group of verbs that you call irregular verbs, okay? For irregular verbs, you don't add ed to the end to make the past simple, okay? You change them into a different verb, right? So for example, here you have to be, right? To be is also irregular, right? To be, in the present you have I am, you are, he is, right? But in the past you have I was, he was, you were, okay? So there are two forms of the verb to be in the past, was or were, right? There was also other verbs like left, right? So I leave, but in the past I left, right? I come, but in the past I came, right? And so on. So there are two types of verbs that we use, okay? I think this is basic. Many of you have learned about this, so I will not spend a lot of time talking about this. But if you want to review the past simple, it's very easy. You can do a quick search and you see, okay, they have a summary like this, right? So in the affirmative, you add ed, okay? Lived, washed, wanted, right? Sometimes if you have irregular verbs like come or go or have or to be, right, you change the verb, right? But most of the time you add ed. For negative, if you want to make a statement that someone did not do something, okay, you add didn't, and then you use the bare infinitive form of the verb, right? So for example, you say I lived in London, right? I lived in London is affirmative, but if you want to make it negative, which is an action that didn't happen, right? You say I didn't live in London, okay? I didn't live in London. You add didn't, right? And for question, you move did to the beginning, okay? And then you have the subject, and then you use the bare infinitive form of the verb, right? Did you live in London, right? Did you go to the concert? Did you do your homework? And so on. Okay. All right, so that is the past simple. And we use, when do we use the past simple? What do we use the past simple for? So why do we use the past simple in this story? Why? Why don't we use the present simple or the present continuous in the story?
Because all the actions happen in the past.
Yes, okay, because all the action happened and finished in the past. Okay, it happened. It doesn't carry on into the present. So it happened in the past, right? It finished. It ended. It happened and ended. So you use the past simple. So you use the past simple to talk about an action that happened and ended. For example, I say I went shopping yesterday. Okay, I went shopping. When is the past form of go, right? So yesterday I went shopping, I bought things, and I came back, right? So the act of shopping happened yesterday and ended yesterday, right? It doesn't carry on until today. So in that case, when we talk about something that happened in the past and ended in the past, you use the past simple. Okay, so that is the past simple. If you are not sure about it, you can read the rules over here, okay, and then you can familiarize yourself with it, right? But if you, I suppose all of us have learned about the past simple before, so why don't you do a little bit of practice, okay, to see how well you know the past simple. We have exercise number 1 over here, right? They have 5 sentences, and in each sentence they have a verb, right? And they ask you to use the correct form of the past simple of the verb and fill in the blank. Okay, so look at the verb, fill it in a blank using the correct form of the past simple. Okay, for example, to be, here you have was or were. So what are you using here, right? I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this. This is an easy one. We have 5 sentences. Okay, so do this in 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes you come back and you read your answers to me. Okay? All right, 5 minutes go. Okay. I guess this one is not nothing difficult for you. So let's go over them and see how you answer. Number one. Who volunteers to read number one?
I'm here, teacher.
Yes?
Marcus' mother and grandmother were at
Mm-hmm.
wedding, but Mary's parents didn't know anything about it.
Yes. Okay, very good. Yes.
Yeah,
Marcus'
teacher.
mother and grandmother were at the wedding. Okay, because you have plural subject over here. But Mary's parents did not know anything about it. Okay, or didn't know anything about it. Good. Number two. Number two. Anyone?
Mrs. Keir
Mm-hmm.
was furious when she saw the wedding photo in a newspaper.
Okay. Again, Mrs. Shearer. What were? Did you say were?
Was
Yes. Okay. Mrs. Shearer was furious when she saw the wedding photo in the newspaper. Yes. Okay. Both of the verbs here are irregular, right? So you have was and saw. Very good. Number three.
Yeah, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote to the newspaper and complained about the photo.
Yes. Okay. She wrote to the newspaper and complained about the photo. Okay. Yes. Very good. The first one is irregular, write and wrote. Okay. And the second one is regular. You add ed, complain. Very good. Number four. Can anyone do number four?
Yes. Mrs. Saucers didn't speak to her daughter when they appeared in court.
Yes. Okay. Mrs. Shearer didn't speak. Okay. Very simple. When you see not, when you see negative, you just add didn't, right? Mrs. Shearer didn't speak to her daughter when they appeared in court. Okay, appeared. You add ed, but you pronounce appeared. Okay, very good. And last one, you can do a last one. Anyone? Doing. No. Thắm? Oh, Thu, yes.
Yeah. Mary said that she didn't be angry with her mother because she understood how her mother felt.
Okay. Yeah, very good, right? Actually, there's one thing. Right. Mary said that she, well, when you see to be, okay, to be and to have are two special cases, right? So when you see to be, you don't say she didn't be, okay? In the negative form for the verb to be is wasn't. Wasn't, okay? Wasn't or weren't, right? So when you see the verb to be, it's special, right? She wasn't angry with her mother because she understood. Okay, very good. Over here, understand, understood. It's an irregular verb. How her mother felt. Okay, again, another irregular verb. Get to feel, felt, felt. Right? So F-E-L-T. Right. All right, very good. Now let's look at number two. Okay. At number two, after the trial, a reporter asked Mrs. Shearer some questions. Okay. So after the trial, after they appear in court, after they went to court, a reporter, okay, someone who works for a newspaper, they interview Mrs. Shearer. Mrs. Shearer is the mother of of the girl, okay, of the bride, okay? She was the mother of Mary. And the reporter interviewed Mrs. Shearer and asked her some questions. So what were the questions that the reporter asked? Okay, over here you have 8 questions, all right? But they were not written down as questions, right? They just give you the clue. Now I'm gonna give you again 5 minutes to look at the clues over here and write down a question, right? For example, the first one, when Mary meet Marcus, okay? How do you think the question will be? What do you think the question will be? How do you write the question here? You have when. You have
When this Mary
when did Mary
meet Marcus?
meet Marcus? Yes. Okay. So you write the question again in the past simple, right? When did Mary meet Marcus? Right? And you do the same for the rest of the sentences here, right? Write down the 8 questions, right? And after you have written down the 8 questions, also try to think or try to read back from the newspaper article, okay, and find the answer for the questions. Okay, see if you can find the answer for the question. For example, question number 1, when did Mary meet Marcus? Okay, read back over here and see if you can find the you can find the answer to this question, right? And do it for the same 7 things that came up, right? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to work on this, okay? And after 5 minutes, you come back and then we go over the questions, and you tell me the question and the answer. All right, 5 minutes go. All right. Have you got questions? Okay, question number 1. When did Mary meet Marcus? Do you know the answer to this question? When did Mary meet Marcus?
Mary
Yes.
met Marcus when she was only 13.
Yes. Okay. Mary met Marcus when she was only 13. So that was like 3 years ago, according to the story. Okay. When she was only 13. Good. Number 2. When did she leave home? I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. The question is, when did she leave home? All right. Do you know the answer to this question?
They traveled up and was sitting.
Yes. Okay. She left home when she was 16. Okay. Mary left home when she was 16. Okay. Number 3. What is the question? Okay. What is the question for number 3?
Where was the wedding?
Yeah, where was the wedding? Okay, where was the wedding, right? And the answer is where?
The wedding was at Whitney.
Yeah, okay. The wedding was at
No.
Gretna Green, okay? Gretna Green. They didn't approve. Her mother didn't approve, so they went to Gretna Green, okay? The wedding was at Gretna Green, okay. Number 4. Number 4.
Yes. Why were you not there?
Why were you not there? Right. This is a question for the mother. Okay.
Yeah.
For Mrs. Shearer. Do you know the answer?
I wasn't there because I didn't know about the wedding.
Very
They
good.
didn't tell me.
Okay. Yes. Right. Okay. She was. Yeah. That's the truth. She was not there because she didn't know. Right. Good. Number 5. What is the question? Number 5.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Number 5. How did you find out? How did you find out about it?
Yes. Okay. How did you find out about it? Right. How did you find out about it? And what is the answer?
The answer, number 5. I found out about the wedding when I saw a photo in the newspaper.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you can find it here. A week later, the mother opened the local newspaper and saw a photograph of the bride and groom. Okay. Yes, I find out about it from the newspaper. Okay. Good. Number 6. How feel? What is the question? Number 6.
How did you feel?
And what? Can you guess the answer? Okay. What would the answer be?
Henry was so angry. And Henry that she's attacked.
Yes, okay. She came over and she attacked the mother of the groom. So she must be very, very, very angry. Okay? Very angry, right? And number 7. Okay. Yeah, what is the question for number 7?
Yes, teacher. Number 7. What did you do?
And the answer?
The answer, she wrote. She wrote to the paper and complained about the photo.
All right. So the mother, yes, this is a question for the mother of the girl, right? So she probably answer, I was so angry, I wrote to the newspaper, I complained, right? And also she came over and she attacked the mother of the boy, right? So that's another thing. And number 8. Number 8. Anyone try to stop you? Okay. This is, what is the question in this case?
Did anyone try to stop you?
Did anyone try to stop you? And what was the answer?
It is Marcus Lee curious.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, probably Marcus tried to stop her, right? Okay, very good. So you have written all the questions and you have proposed the answers, okay? Now, you will listen to the interview. Listen carefully, and number 1, check if you have the questions correct, okay? If you check to see if the questions you wrote down are correct. And number 2, check to see if she gave the same answers that you did, okay? See if she gave the reporter the same answers that as many of you here have given. All right? Now listen.
Unit 3, Tape Script 3.1.
Mrs. Shearer, may I ask you some questions?
Oh, all right then.
When did Marie meet Marcus?
When she was only 13 years old.
When did she leave home?
When she was 16.
Where was the wedding?
In Gretna Green.
Why weren't you there?
Because we didn't know anything about it.
How did you find out about it?
I saw a photograph of the wedding in the papers.
How did you feel?
I was very angry and upset, of course. My only daughter.
What did you do?
I shouted at Marcus's mother and pulled her hair.
Did anyone try to stop you?
Marcus did, but I hit him too.
Okay. Did you get all of the questions correct? Now, first of all, could you hear the questions and answers? Yes or no? Okay, maybe probably it's a bit difficult to hear, but I'll play the tape again, and then I'll stop after each question and answer, okay? And then we'll see if we had it correctly. Listen again.
Unit 3, Tape Script 3.1.
Mrs. Shearer, may I ask you some questions?
Oh, all right then.
When did Marie meet Marcus?
Okay. When did Marie meet Marcus?
When she was only 13 years old.
Okay. And the answer, yes, when she was only 13 years old. All right, so the first one is correct. Now, second one.
When did she leave home?
Okay, when did she leave home, right?
When she was 16.
Right, when she was 16. So the second one is also correct. Number 3.
Where was the wedding?
In Gretna Green.
Okay, also correct, right? Where was the wedding? In Gretna Green.
Why weren't you there?
We didn't know anything about it.
Okay, why weren't you there, right? And because we didn't know anything about it, right? So we have everything correct so far.
How did you find out about it?
I saw a photograph of the wedding in the papers.
Okay, how did she find out about it? She saw a photograph of the wedding in the papers. Okay, number 6.
How did you feel?
I was very angry and upset, of course.
Okay, what did she say? What did she say? How did she feel?
Yes. How did you feel?
Very
Yeah.
angry.
Very angry and what else? Listen again.
Papers.
How did you feel?
I was very angry and upset, of course.
Okay. She was very angry and upset. Okay. She said, I was very angry and upset, of course. Okay. Listen again.
How did you feel?
I was very angry and upset, of course. My only daughter.
What did you do?
I shouted at Marcus's mother and pulled her hair.
Okay. What did she do? What did she say? Listen again.
My only daughter.
What did you do?
I shouted at Marcus's mother and pulled her hair.
What did she do? She
shout.
Yeah, she shouted at Marcus's mother, okay, and pulled her hair, okay. So she shouted at the boy's mother and pulled her hair.
Did anyone try to stop you?
Marcus did, but I hit him too.
Okay, so who tried to stop her? Marcus, right? And what did she do? She hit him too, okay? So that is quite a funny story, right? So this is how you use the past simple to talk about action that happened in the past and completed in the past, right? We will see more of the past simple. Actually, this is a very popular tense. We use it all the time, and we are going to see more of it, okay, as we go. All right, so that's the first part of it. Now we are moving on to reading, okay? Reading. And the reading text that we are going to do today is The Witch of Wall Street. Okay? The Witch of Wall Street. What does it mean, the Witch of Wall Street? What is a witch? Does anyone know what a witch is? What is a witch?
Phù thủy ạ.
Okay. Yeah, that's the Vietnamese. Try to explain it in English, right? You know what the word means in Vietnamese, but if you have to explain it in English, how do you explain it? Okay. How do you say phù thủy in English? What is a witch? A witch is a person, right? A person. What is special about her, him or her? A witch. A person who has magical power. Yes. Okay.
Brush.
I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
In a brush.
In a brush.
A brush. Yes.
Oh yes. Okay.
A long hat.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you can see in some stories, she is a woman who is riding a broom. Okay, a broom, BROOM, a broom, and then wearing a long hat. Right. Yes. Okay. And she has magical power. So a person with magical power, usually evil power. Okay, not good power, bad power. Right. A bad person with magical power is a witch. Right. Wall Street. Do you know what Wall Street is? What is Wall Street? What is Wall Street? Okay, if you don't know what Wall Street is, you can do a quick search. Okay? Wall Street is a street in New York. Okay? Wall Street is a street in New York, and it is famous because it is where all of the important financial centers are, right? Where the rich people live and where they have many banks, right? And so the financial market, the most important financial market in the world is Wall Street, right? So the reading today is about the Witch of Wall Street. Who is the Witch of Wall Street, and what was special about her? Okay, I will give you 5 minutes to read very quickly. Okay, you don't have to read word by word, but read very quickly through the story here. Okay, we have a story about the Witch of Wall Street. It's not very long. I will give you 5 minutes to read and then answer the questions. Okay, on page 27 in number 2. Okay, who was the Witch of Wall Street? When did she live? Who were Ned and Edward? What was strange about her life? And how did she die? Okay, this is a story about a person. What is her name? Okay, read the story, answer the 5 questions here, and then like after 5 minutes you give me your answers. Okay, it is not a long story. You can read very quickly, and you don't have to read word by word. Just answer the questions. All right. Okay, 5 minutes go. Okay. All right. So this is quite an interesting story. Number one, who was the Witch of Wall Street? Who was the Witch of Wall Street? Okay. This is a story about a woman, and she was called the Witch of Wall Street. Okay. What was the name of the woman? Who was the woman?
Hattie Robinson.
Yes. Okay. Hattie Robinson. Right. Very good. When did she live? When did she live? When? Okay. Did it say in the text when did she live? Okay. You probably couldn't find it, but when did she die? When did she die? Probably an easier way for you to answer this. When did she die?
She died in 1916.
Yes, she died in 1916. Okay, 1916. And how old was she when she died? How old was she when she died?
81.
81. Okay, over here you see when she died, she was 81. So in 1916, she was 81, right? So she probably lived most of her life in the 19th century. Okay, 19th century. She was born in 1820 something. Yeah, okay, 1830 something, and then she died in 1916. Okay, so she lived most of her life in the 19th century. Okay, who were Ned and Edward? Who were Ned and Edward?
Ned was Hattie's son, and Edward was her husband.
Yes. Okay. Ned, you see it here, okay, was her son, and Edward was her husband, okay? She married him when she was 33. Okay. What was strange about her life? What was strange about her life? Who was she? Who was Hattie Green? I'm sorry, Hattie Robinson. Okay. What was strange about her life? Was she rich or poor?
She's really rich, but she's so mean.
She was very, very, very rich. Okay, she was a millionaire in her time, and at that time, okay, at the 19th century, when you were a millionaire, you were very, very rich. Okay, so Hattie Robinson was very rich, but she was very mean. Okay, she didn't want to spend money. She was very cheap. Okay, she didn't want to spend money, and she lived a very uncomfortable life because she was so mean. Okay, so that was strange about her life. How did she die? How did she die? How did she die? Okay.
A stroke.
Yeah, she died because of a
Stroke.
stroke. Okay, she had a stroke and died. Okay, why did she have a stroke? Why did she have a stroke?
Because she had an argument with a shop assistant about the price of a bottle of milk.
Yes, okay. She died in a very peculiar way. She was buying milk and she thought it was too expensive. So she argued with the shop assistant, and because she was so angry, she got a stroke and she died. All right. So she actually did die because she was so mean. Okay. All right. So this is a very interesting story. I just gave you 5 minutes. You probably didn't have enough time to read. All right. Now I'm gonna give you more time. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. Okay. Go back and read the story again. Read the story again and answer the questions in the true or false section over here. Okay. Look at number 3. Number 3 over here, you have 10 sentences, right? Read the story again and tell me whether the sentences are true or false, right? You may see that, someone did the answers over here, but probably they were not correct, okay? So read the story again and tell me whether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over here are true or false. All right? I'm going to give you 10 minutes to do this, and then we'll come back after 10, and then we'll go to the answers together. All right, 10 minutes, go. Okay. All right. So you have read about Hattie Robinson's life. Okay. Let's go over the sentences over here and then decide whether they are true or false, right? Number one, she knew a lot about finance when she was young. True or false?
True.
True or false?
True.
Two.
True. Yes. Okay, number one is true. How do you know? How do you know?
The first paragraph.
Yes, the first paragraph, actually the first sentence, right? Hattie Robinson learned all about money when she was very young, okay? So even when she was very young, she learned a lot about finance, right? Good. True. Number two, she owned a big house.
False.
True or false?
False.
False. Okay. Where does it say?
Didn't have a house.
Right.
She didn't own a house.
Yes. Paragraph number two. She didn't own a house because she didn't want to pay any taxes, right? So what did she do? She lived in cheap hotels, right? So number two, false. Number three, she didn't have many clothes.
True.
True or false?
True.
True.
True or false?
True.
True.
True, right? Okay. The next paragraph, she spent almost nothing on clothes. Okay, so she didn't spend a lot of money on clothes. So as a consequence, she didn't have a lot of clothes. Right? She didn't have many clothes. Okay, and she wore the same black dress every day. Okay. Number four, she sent her clothes to a laundry.
False.
True or false?
False.
False. Okay. What does it say?
She washed it.
Washed it herself.
Yeah. She wore the same long dress every day and she washed it herself. Okay, so she didn't spend any money at all on clothes and on laundry. Okay. Number five, she rented an office in Wall Street.
False.
True or false?
False.
False. Okay. What? How do you know? Okay. Did she have an office? Yes or no? Okay. Other people had their offices, but Hattie didn't have one. Okay. She used a desk in the bank where she kept her money. Right? She didn't have an office. She just used a desk in the bank where she kept her money. So she didn't have. She was very cheap. She didn't have an office. Okay. Number six, she had lunch in restaurants. True or false?
False.
False. Okay. What did she eat every day?
She
She
eat
sandwiches.
Sandwiches
Yeah,
at the
she
bank.
ate sandwiches at the bank. Okay. And if the bank complained, she just moved on her money to another bank. Okay. All right. Number seven, she married a rich man.
True.
True or false?
True.
True. Okay. The next paragraph, they talk about her husband, right? At 33, she married a millionaire. Okay, a millionaire is a person who has a lot of money, and it was Edward Green. Okay, so yes, she married a rich man. Number eight, she sent her son to the best hospital in New York.
False.
True or false?
False.
False. Okay. What happened to her son? What happened to her son?
She didn't want to pay for a doctor, so
Yeah.
she took him to a free hospital for
Okay.
poor people.
Yeah. So her son had an accident and he injured her knee, his knee, right? But she didn't want to pay for the doctor. So she spent time trying to look for a free hospital, right? And then in the end, what happened to the son? What happened to the son? Because she took so long, okay, his leg didn't get better, and 2 years later, he had to remove it, right? So the son had to cut off the leg because she didn't want to spend money on doctors. Okay, very, very cheap. Number 9, she died in an accident. Yes or no? True or false?
False.
False, right? She didn't have an accident, right? She died because she was arguing with people and she had a stroke, right? Yeah. So false. And number 10, her son invested her money.
False.
True or false? False. Okay. What did the son do with the money? What did her son do with the money?
Ned spent her money on parties, holidays, and expensive jewelry.
Yes. Okay. So he didn't invest any of the money. He spent it on he spent all of it on holidays, on parties, and on expensive jewelry. Okay. Yeah. So that's the story about the Witch of Wall Street, Hattie Robinson. Okay, or Hattie Green. She was very, very rich, but she was also very, very mean. Okay. And in the end, when she died, she couldn't keep any of her money. Okay. And the son spent all of the money that she worked so hard, and she was so mean just to keep. So this is a very interesting story. All right. So again, when you see a story like this about the life of some people, right? Usually the tense that you see the most is the past simple, okay? Because it's about something that happened in the past and finished in the past. Okay, this person actually died in the past, right? So it's all about the past. And when you have a story like this, most of the time we use past simple. Okay? All right, we have a few more things down here, but we don't have time to go over them in class, so this should be your homework. Okay, at home, read the story again and also read some of the questions over here and see how you would answer some of the questions over here. For example, in number 4, we have some discussion questions. How would you answer these questions? Okay, that would be your homework. All right, and now we're moving on to listening and speaking. Okay. Open your book to page 28 and 29. 28 and 29. All right, look at page 28 and 29. All right, look at the photos. How many photos are there?
Yes.
How many? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you have 6 photos on page 28 and 29. Okay, and these photos tell the story of a person. Okay, and we are going to listen to the story of this person. Okay, but take a good look at the photos. All right, photo number 1. What do you see in photo number 1? Photo number 1. What do you see?
I see the 2 boys and mountains.
Yeah, you see 2 boys and a mountain, right? And behind the 2 boys, you also see an animal, right? And this animal is called a llama. Okay, a llama. A llama is a special kind of animal that you see in mostly in South America. Okay, they are very popular in South America, in Peru, in Chile, and in Argentina, in Brazil. You see this kind of animal, right? And you see 2 boys. What are the names of the 2 boys? Okay, if you look closely here, you see a caption for the photo. It says, what does it says? It said Jeff, Barney, and a llama, right? This is the llama, and this is Jeff and Barney, right? So one of the boys over here is Jeff, and the other one is Bunny. Okay, and they are in the mountains, right? In the mountain, should be somewhere with the mountain. Okay. Number 2, what do you see? Number 2, what do you see? Can anyone describe picture number 2? Do you see people in the photo? Yes or no?
There isn't any people in the picture.
Okay, so no people. Okay, what do you see?
Picture has many trees, and in far we can see a lot of mountains.
Yes. Okay, so trees and mountains, right? It's a landscape, right? It should be somewhere with a lot of trees and a lot of mountains. Okay, and you see the caption. It is the far north. North. Okay, you know the direction north, south. Okay, beautiful, but cold. Okay, so it should be somewhere beautiful but cold. Okay, very good. Number 3. Right. What do you see here?
There is a boy in a boat.
Okay, there's a boy in a boat. Okay, and
Next
a
to the
river.
river.
Yeah, in a river. Very good, right? And look at the caption. It says again, Captain Jeff in the tropics. Okay, so it's the same boy. Okay, it's the same boy in the first picture, right? But now, where is he? He is in the tropics. What is the tropic? What is the tropics? Tropic is an area.
Tropical.
Yeah, you heard the word tropical area. Vietnam is actually a tropical country. Vietnam is in the tropics, right? A tropic is an area where it is very, very hot, okay, and very humid because it's close to the center of the world, okay, to the middle of the world, right? So, yeah, Jeff, he was in tropics. He spent some years in the tropics somewhere, okay? Good. What about photo number 4? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it says the CN Tower. Okay, the CN Tower. This is a very famous tower. Okay, do you know where the CN Tower is?
It's a city.
Yeah, it's a city, right? A photo of a city. And here you have the word the CN Tower. This is the CN Tower. Okay, this right here is the CN Tower. So the CN Tower is a very famous tower. Where?
In Canada.
In Canada, yes. Okay, in Toronto, Canada, right? It's the CN Tower. Okay, next photo. Again, you see the 2 boys, okay, and
Their grandma.
and their grandma, okay, and a woman, right? And a woman, if you look at the caption, it said at Grand's house, right? Grand is grandma. So the 2 boys, again, Jeff and Bonnie, and they are at the house of their grandparents, right? And the last one, again, you see the same boy, Jeff, okay, and then his cousin, okay, maybe a girl, maybe a boy, we don't know, right? But a younger baby. And where are they? Where are they?
They are in the Hyde Park.
Hyde Park, okay. Where is Hyde Park? Where's Hyde Park? Hyde Park is a famous park in London, okay, in London. So just by looking at the photos, okay, you will know some of the places, okay, already. You know, for example, the last photo is London, right? London in the UK. Grandma's house, we don't know where it is, right? But we know it's grandma's house. CN Tower is Canada, right? So you should hear something about Canada. Over here, sorry. I'm sorry. On the previous page, you know that they were somewhere in the tropics, okay? In the tropics, a very hot area. They were somewhere in a very cold area, okay? And they were somewhere with a lot of mountains and a llama, okay? Maybe somewhere in the Americas. All right, so this, you will listen to a story about Jeff's life, okay? The life of the little boy over here. He has been to many places, okay? What are the places that he have been to? Okay? Before you listen, take a look at the table right here. All right? Here in this table, you have 3 columns. You have A, B, and C, right? A is where. Okay? A is where. They tell you the places where the boy has been. Okay? And you have how many places? You have 6 places. Okay? 6 places corresponding to the 6 photos that you have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So the boy has been to 6 places. They are Scotland, Manchester, Singapore, London, Peru, and Canada. Okay? You probably can tell where Canada is from the photos, right? Or where London is from the photo, right? But they have also been to Scotland, Manchester, Singapore, and Peru, right? How long did they stay in each of the places? Okay? And what was the reason for them to leave, right? Why did they leave Peru? Why did they leave Scotland? Why did they leave Manchester? Okay? You will listen to this conversation where Jeff will talk about his life. Listen to the conversation and number the places, okay? From the first place to the last place, okay? And you know here that the first place is Peru because, you know, they did it for you. So he began his life story in Peru, okay? How long did he stay in Peru? Listen and match, okay? Peru with one of the times over here. And what was the reason for him to leave Peru? Okay, what was the reason for him to leave Peru? So choose a reason in column C and match it with Peru. Okay, and do the same for the other places. Right? So now listen. Okay, tell me the order of the places that he lived. How long did he live in each of the places? And what was the reason for him to live? Okay? All right. We will listen 3 times, right? The first time, try to listen and number, okay? Number the order of the places. The second time, try to find how long, okay? And the third time, try to match the reason why they left. Okay? All right. Let's listen.
Tape script 3.2.
Where are you from, Jeff?
Well, it's difficult to say, really, because we moved around a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, why was that?
Well, basically because my parents couldn't agree where to live. My father wanted to live abroad. He liked warm climates, you see. But my mother preferred Britain.
Oh, I see. Where were you born then?
I was born in South America, in Peru, but I grew up mostly in England. We left Peru when I was about 4 years old. My sister Bonnie was 2.
Why did you leave?
Well, my grandfather was ill and my mother didn't want to be so far away from him. So we went to Manchester, in England.
I bet your mom was happy about that.
Yes, but we didn't stay there very long. My grandfather died and we went to the Far East, to Singapore.
And how long did you stay there?
Oh, quite a long time for us. Nearly 5 years. But then my dad lost his job because his company closed down.
That was unlucky.
Yes, it was. Because we all liked it there. Anyway, we moved back to Britain because my father got a job in Scotland. But
he didn't like it, right?
Right. It was too far north. Too cold, you see. So, after about 6 months, we moved down to South London. I was about 10 by this time.
Good heavens. And how long did you stay there?
Oh, that was the last stop. I started secondary school, you see, so we stayed there till I left school and went to university. But soon after that, my parents moved.
Where did they go this time?
Well, my sister got married and went to live in Australia, so my parents followed. Lots of sunshine there.
And where are they now?
Oh, they're still there.
And when did you come to Canada?
Oh, about 2 years ago, when I got a place at the university. But anyway, that's my life story. What about you? Where are you from?
Well, my life seems a bit boring after that. I was born in Montreal.
Okay. Were you able to at least order the places where you lived? Okay. Listen again, and this time try to order, number, okay, the places where he lived, and also how long he lived in each of the places. Okay. Listen again.
Tape script 3.2.
Where are you from, Jeff?
Well, it's difficult to say, really, because we moved around a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, why was that?
Well, basically because my parents couldn't agree where to live. My father wanted to live abroad. He liked warm climates, you see. But my mother preferred Britain.
Oh, I see. Where were you born then?
I was born in South America, in Peru, but I grew up mostly in England. We left Peru when I was about 4 years old. My sister Bonnie was 2.
Why did you leave?
Well, my grandfather was ill and my mother didn't want to be so far away from him. So we went to Manchester, in England.
I bet your mom was happy about that.
Yes, but we didn't stay there very long. My grandfather died and we went to the Far East, to Singapore.
And how long did you stay there?
Oh, quite a long time for us. Nearly 5 years. But then my dad lost his job because his company closed down.
That was unlucky.
Yes, it was. Because we all liked it there. Anyway, we moved back to Britain because my father got a job in Scotland. But
he didn't like it, right?
Right. It was too far north. Too cold, you see. So, after about 6 months, we moved down to South London. I was about 10 by this time.
Good heavens. And how long did you stay there?
Oh, that was the last stop. I started secondary school, you see, so we stayed there till I left school and went to university. But soon after that, my parents moved.
Where did they go this time?
Well, my sister got married and went to live in Australia, so my parents followed. Lots of sunshine there.
And where are they now?
Oh, they're still there.
And when did you come to Canada?
Oh, about 2 years ago, when I got a place at the university. But anyway, that's my life story. What about you? Where are you from?
Well, my life seems a bit boring after that. I was born in Montreal.
Okay. Were you able to get the answers? Okay, let's check your answers together. All right, number 1. Where was the first place that he lived? We know it is Peru, right? He was born in Peru. Okay. How long did he live in Peru? How long? Okay, you seem to have all of the answers over here. But if you listen to the conversation, how long? How long did he say he lived? He lived in Peru? Probably you couldn't get it, okay? And what was the reason he was leaving Peru? You couldn't get it? Okay, listen again. Listen again. This time I will stop after each phase, okay? And then we'll see, okay? We will have the answers together.
Tape script 3.2.
Where are you from, Jeff?
Well, it's difficult to say, really, because we moved around a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, why was that?
Well, basically because my parents couldn't agree where to live. My father wanted to live abroad. He liked warm climates, you see. But my mother preferred Britain.
Oh, I see. Where were you born then?
I was born in South America, in Peru, but
Okay. I was born in South America in Peru. So Peru is number one, right?
grew up mostly in England. We left Peru when I was about 4 years old.
Okay. We
Years old.
left Peru.
4
When?
years.
Yes, 4 years.
Yes.
Okay, after 4 years, he left Peru. And now listen why. Why did he leave Peru?
My sister Bonnie was too.
Why did you leave?
Well, my grandfather was ill and my mother didn't want to be so far away from him.
Okay. What was the reason that he was leaving Peru?
Grandfather was ill.
Yes. Okay. His grandfather was ill and his mother didn't want to live away from his grandfather, right? So number one, Peru for 4 years, and they left because their grandfather was ill, right? Now listen, what is the second stop?
So we went to Manchester, in England.
Okay. So where did he go? Manchester. Okay, so Manchester is number 2.
I bet your mom was happy about that.
Yes, but we didn't stay there very long.
Okay. How long did they stay in Manchester?
Not very long.
Yeah, not very long. We didn't stay there very long. Okay. And what was the reason?
My grandfather died and we went to the Far East.
Okay. My
Spoiler.
grandfather died, right? So the reason, yeah, the reason for their leaving Manchester was that because his grandfather died, right? Next stop.
To Singapore.
Okay, so number 3.
Singapore.
Singapore.
Okay, Singapore, right?
And how long did you stay there?
Oh, quite a long time for us. Nearly 5 years.
Okay, how long?
5 years. Nearly 5 years.
Yeah, nearly 5 years. Quite a long time for us, nearly 5 years. Okay. And now, what was the reason that they were leaving?
But then my dad lost his job because his company closed down.
Okay, why did they leave Singapore?
Father's company.
Father slow down.
Yeah, father's company closed down, right? And where did they go next?
That was unlucky.
Yes, it was. Because we all liked it there. Anyway, we moved back to Britain because my father got a job in Scotland.
Okay,
Scotland.
next stop is
Scotland.
Scotland. Okay, we went back to Britain because my father got a job in Scotland. Okay, how long did they stay in Scotland?
He didn't like it, right?
Right. It was too far north. Too cold, you see. So, after about 6 months, we moved down to South London.
Okay,
6 months.
after 6 months, and they left. Why did they leave? Why did they leave? Why did they not stay in Scotland anymore? Listen again.
Right?
Right. It was too far north. Too cold, you see. So, after about 6 months, we moved down to South London.
Okay. Why
Cold.
did, yeah,
It's cold.
it was too cold. Okay, too far north and too cold, right? So they moved down to where? Listen again.
It was too far north. Too cold, you see. So, after about 6 months, we moved down to South London.
Where now?
London.
London. Okay, South London, right? Number 5. Okay, how long did they stay in London?
I was about 10 by this time.
Good heavens. And how long did you stay there?
Oh, that was the last stop. I started secondary school, you see, so we stayed there till I left school and went to university.
Okay. How long?
Can hear. I can hear.
You can hear, right? Okay, listen again and tell me how old was he when he moved to London, right? And how old was he when he left London? Right. Listen again.
Once we moved down to South London. I was about 10 by this time.
Good heavens.
Okay. How old was he when he went to London? He moved to London? 10. Okay. And listen again and tell me how old was he when he left London?
And how long did you stay there?
Oh, that was the last stop. I started secondary school, you see, so we stayed there till I left school and went to university.
Okay. He stayed there until when?
It's the university.
Yeah. Until he left school and went to university. How old are you when you go to universities?
18.
18. Okay, so he was 10 when he came to London, and he was 18 when he left London, so he stayed there for 8 years. Okay, for 8 years. And the reason that he left London was because he went to
University.
Okay. And where did he go to university?
But soon after that, my parents moved.
Where did they go this time?
Well, my sister got married and went to live in Australia, so my parents followed. Lots of sunshine there.
And where are they now?
Oh, they're still there.
And when did you come to Canada?
Oh, about 2 years ago, when I got a place at the university. But
Okay. So the last stop is Canada. Okay. And how long has he stayed in Canada? 2 years. Okay. And why was he in Canada? What did he do in Canada?
I can hear.
Okay. He went to Canada because he went to university. Okay. Listen again.
I went to live in Australia, so my parents followed. Lots of sunshine there.
And where are they now?
Oh, they're still there.
And when did you come to Canada?
Oh, about 2 years ago, when I got a place at the university. But anyway, that's...
Okay. Why? He went to Canada because he got a place at the university. So he's still at the university. He's still in Canada now, right? But the reason he came to Canada was because he got to a university in Montreal. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. So that's the life story. It's a little bit difficult for you to listen. You may be not familiar yet. Okay. But you see from this activity that you can learn a lot about what you were going to listen just by looking at the information here, right? Looking at the photos and looking at the prompts that you have over here, right? So when you take a listening test, it is very important that before you listen, you spend some time to read the questions, okay? Or to read the information that I give you before you listen, because that can help you a lot, right? Okay, so now let's go back to the photos. Let's go back to the pictures over here, okay? And then let's see if you can name the places, okay? Number 1, you see Jeff and Bonnie and a llama, and Jeff was very small, okay? Where do you think this is? Where? Scotland, Manchester, Singapore, London, Peru, Canada?
Peru.
Peru, okay. They were there when they were children. Okay, he was 4, she was 2, right? Peru, right. Number 2, beautiful but cold.
Scotland.
Scotland, yes. Okay. text, it says Scotland was too cold, right? They left Scotland because it was too cold, right? Number 3, Captain Jeff in the tropics. Okay, what places over here are in the tropics?
Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore. Okay, Singapore is the only place in the tropics, right? So picture number 3. Picture number 4, we already know it is Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, where? Where? He was at the grandparents' place. Okay, where was the grandparents? Where were the grandparents? Where did the grandparents live? Where?
London. London.
London?
Manchester.
Yes, Manchester, right? They were living in Peru, and then the grandfather was ill, so they have to go to Manchester, okay, to be near the parents, to be near the grandparents, right? So the grandparents lived in Manchester, right? And the last one,
London.
you know, London, right? Because you see Hyde Park right here. Right, so very important, right? On Sunday, you will have a test, and there will be a listening portion in the test. So very important, before you listen, spend some time to read the questions, because sometimes you can get the information that you need. You can prepare for the listening activity just by reading the questions, okay, and the information that we have. All right. Okay, now let's go over to pronunciation. Okay, pronunciation. Okay, the first is ed ending. Okay, today we talk about 2 things. Number 1, ed ending, and number 2, word stress. Okay, we know that when we have a verb and we want to put it in the past simple tense, and if the verb is regular, we add ed to the verb. Okay, we add ed to the verb, but how do we pronounce it? How do we pronounce the ed? Okay, we have 3 ways. We have 3 different ways to pronounce the ed. We can pronounce it t, d, or it. Okay, t, or d, or it. For example, when you have the verb rob, okay, and if you add ed to it, right, we say robbed, okay, we pronounce it d. Why? Because the last sound in the word rob is b, and b is a voiced consonant, right? Yesterday we talked about voiced and voiceless consonant. A voiced consonant is a consonant when you pronounce, you feel the vibration over here, okay? Rob, right? You feel the vibration of the vocal cords over here. So when you have a voiced consonant, you add ed, you pronounce it d, right? Robbed, used, okay? When you have a voiced consonant at the end, z at the end, and then you add ed, you pronounce d. When you have a voiceless consonant at the end, for example, you have the verb walk, okay? Walk, the last sound of the verb walk is k, and k is a voiceless consonant, okay? K, voiceless. So when you add ed, you pronounce it t, right? So walk, and then walked, right? Laugh, the last sound of this word is f, right? F is also voiceless. So when you add ed, you pronounce it laughed, okay? So voice, the, voiceless, t, okay? And when the verb ends with the sound t or d, right? When you add ed, you pronounce it. For example, you have the verb want, right? Want. The last sound of the verb want is t, right? So when you add ed, you say wanted. Wanted. Okay? You have need. Need. The last sound of the word need is d. Right? And when you add ed, you have needed. Right? Needed. So that is the rule. Remember, voiced, when you add ed, you say d. Voiceless, when you add ed, you say t. And t or d, when you add ed, you say it. Right? That's very simple like that. Okay? And look at B. Look at 1B over here. Here they give you some verbs with the ed ending. Okay? Is the ed here pronounced t or d or it? Okay? Look at the verbs over here and put them in the right column. Right? If you see the first one, attacked, is it t or d or it? Right? Put it in the right column. Right? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to do this. Okay? Put the verbs in the right column, and after 5 minutes we come back and we check together. All right? Okay, there you go. 5 minutes, go. Okay? Have you finished?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now you will listen to me. I will read the verbs over here. Okay? I will read them, you listen, and if you hear the last sound is D, you say column 1, right? If you hear the last sound is T, it's 2. And if you hear the last sound is it's 3. Okay?
Yes.
All right, attacked.
Column 2. 2.
Yeah, attacked, 2. Okay? Blamed.
Column 1.
Blamed, 1. Okay? Promised.
2. 2.
Promised.
2.
2. Okay? Waited.
3.
3.
3. Okay? Liked.
2.
2. Okay? Decided.
3.
3.
3.
3. Yes. Okay? Helped.
2.
2.
Helped.
2.
2.
2. Right? The last sound is P. P is voiceless. Pushed.
2.
2.
Pushed.
2.
2. Okay? Counted.
3.
3. Started.
3.
3.
3. Washed.
2. 2.
2.
1 or 2?
2.
Yeah, washed. 2. Yes. Lived.
1. 1.
1. Okay? Avoided.
3. 3.
3. Talked.
2.
2.
2.
2. Okay? Seemed.
1. 1.
1. Okay? Turned.
1. 1.
1. Okay? Very good. Right? Very good. The second part, we talk about stress. Okay? In English, we have this thing called stress. Stress is when you have a word with more than one syllable. Okay? You pronounce one syllable stronger, louder, and the other syllables softer. Okay? Or smaller. So if the syllable that you pronounce it stronger or louder, you call it is a stress syllable, and the syllable that you don't pronounce it loud or strong, you call them unstressed syllable. Right? For example, here I have the word problem. Problem. Okay? When I pronounce it, the first syllable is pronounced louder and stronger. I say problem. Problem. Okay? I put the stress on the first syllable. Okay? But if I have another word like expect, right? Here in this word, the stress is on the second syllable. I pronounce packed, stronger and louder, and X, not so strong and not so loud. Okay? So again, stress is when you have a word with more than 2 syllables. You pronounce one syllable stronger than the rest of them. Okay? And that strong syllable that you have is called stress. Right? For example, here I have the word syllable. Syllable. Okay? How many syllables do you have? First of all, do you know what a syllable is? A syllable is a part of the word, right? So for example, here I have a word syllable. If you say it very, very slowly, right? You say syllable. Syllable. Okay? So how many syllables are there? Syllable. There are
2. 2. 3.
no. Syllable. Oh yeah, 3. Okay.
3.
So 3. And in when the word have 3 syllables, right? Usually there is one that you pronounce very strongly, okay, and the other 2 you pronounce very softly, right? So listen again. Syllable. Syllable. 1, 2, or 3 has the strongest sound. C, right? C. So the stress is on the first syllable, right? Syllable. Okay, right? Here we have another word, usually. Usually. Again, how many syllables?
3.
How many syllables? Usually. Okay, great. Where is the stress? Where is the stress? Yes, the first. Usually. Okay, usually, right? So stress on the first, right? So in English, there's always stress, right? When you see a word with more than 2 syllables, there's always the stress. When the word has only 1 syllable, you don't need the stress, right? Because the whole word is a stress, right? So it's a word, right? So the stress is on that single syllable. For example, here you hear problem. Problem. How many syllables?
2.
2. Problem. Okay, and stress on the first, right? But expect. Expect. How many syllables? 2. And stress on the second, right? Second. Okay, very good. All right, so here we have a number of words here. Okay, how do you pronounce them? And where is the stress in each word? Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Read the word and tell me where the stress is. Is it on the first syllable, second syllable, or third syllable? Okay. Here only first or second because they only give you 2, right? So pronounce the word, tell me where the stress is, and after 5 minutes we come back and then we check your answers. All right? All right, 5 minutes go. Okay? All right, now listen to me. I will speak the word, and then you tell me if the stress is on the first syllable, you say one. Okay? If the stress is on the second syllable, you say two. All right? Okay.
Yes.
Study. Study.
One.
Yes. One. Okay. Study. The stress is on the first syllable. One. Good. Question.
One.
Question. What? One or two?
One.
One. Yes. Okay. Attack.
Two.
Two.
Yes. Okay. Attack on the second syllable. Picture.
One.
Money.
One.
Yes. One. Okay. Machine.
Two.
Two. Okay. Headache.
One.
One. Okay. Spelling.
One.
One. Okay. Woman.
One.
Tennis.
Tennis. One.
One or two?
One.
Yes. One. Okay. Number.
Number is one. Number one.
One. Okay. Extra.
Extra one. One, two.
One. One or two?
One.
Extra. One. Yes. Okay. Pronounce.
Pronounce two. Pronounce two.
Yes. Pronounce. Stress on the second syllable. Okay. Again.
Again. Two. Again.
Two. Okay. People.
One. People.
One. Okay. Address.
Two. Address. Two.
Yes. Address. Two. Okay. Children.
Children. One.
Children.
One.
One. Okay. Sorry.
One.
One. Color.
One.
Okay. Divorced.
Two. Boss. Two.
Divorced. Two. Okay. Yes. Model.
One.
Okay. Forget.
Forget. Two.
Yes. Okay. Repeat.
Two.
Yes. Two. And husband.
One.
Husband. Okay. One. Right. So when you look at the verbs, at the words over here, you see that when the word is a noun, usually the stress is on the first syllable, right? For example, question, money, woman, tennis, right? If the word is a verb, usually the stress is on the second syllable, right? Like attack, or forget, or repeat, okay? But sometimes you have irregulars. For example, study. Study is a verb, right? But the stress is on the first syllable. And then you have address. Address is a noun. Oh no, address is a verb, right? If a noun, is it an address? Okay, so when it's a verb, it's address, okay? But when it's a noun, it can be address, right? So that doesn't count, right? But usually, except in very special cases, usually when it's a noun, usually the stress is on the first syllable, and when it's a verb, usually the stress is on the second syllable. So that's one rule that you can keep in mind, okay? If you meet a word, if you see a word you don't know, and you have to guess the stress, right? If you know that it is a verb, then probably the stress is on the second, and if it is a noun, probably the stress is on the first. Okay, so that's one tip for you to know. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you so much for coming today and for participating. I think we can stop here for today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And tomorrow we continue with Unit 4. All right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And we can stop here. Good
Thank
night.
you, teacher. Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. Good night.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.